604 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane off and running. Brian, excuse me, Brian here with you, JP producing. Starting you off at 73 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. On our way back up to the 90s again. I know, it's October. Come on. We're supposed to be pumpkin spicing it and whatnot. That means cooling off. We've got a lot of ground to cover today. Metro Council business, what's up? Jenn Racca is going to join us in our next hour. Cup of Tech Gumbo, Haggai Davis joins us half an hour from now. Calli Boudreaux is running for judge. She'll be at 8:05. Whitney Hoffman Sayal, a lot going on with the Downtown Development District. We'll cover it all. And, check in on Federales Fest before it's all said and done, too. So I'll give you the full rundown in just a little bit. Right now, though, let's start off with top stories and trending.
Number 5.
Starts us off in the tropics this morning. There are two disturbances that we're going to take note of. Yes, Umberto's gone. Yes, Imelda's not going to bother anybody. But if you look out in the Atlantic, a tropical wave is expected to move off the coast of Africa over the next day or two. Thereafter, the wave is forecast to interact with another disturbance in the eastern tropical Atlantic and show some slow development with the combined feature with the two systems forming together and developing from there is what I'm trying to say. As of right now, it's got a 20% chance of becoming a named storm over the next 7 days. Meanwhile, like a lot closer to home, there's an area of low pressure that may form in the northwestern Bahamas, near the northwestern Bahamas and southern Florida by Saturday. Any additional development is expected to be slow. This one stands at a 10% chance of becoming a named storm, but it is a heck of a lot closer to us than anything else that we've seen so far this season.
Number 4.
Baton Rouge Metro could gain 10,500 jobs next year, another 11,100 in 2027, making the area the fastest growing in the state in absolute growth, according to the latest version of the Louisiana Economic Forecast led by economist Dr. Lawrence Scott, which was presented at the Baton Rouge Business Report's Louisiana Business Symposium yesterday. Statewide, he predicts Louisiana will add just shy of 75,000 jobs over that same 2-year span, finally breaking through the 2 million mark this year and then continuing into 2027.
Number 3.
College football playoff national championship returns to Louisiana and New Orleans on January 24th, 2028 in the Caesars Superdome. The All-State Sugar Bowl spearheaded the bid effort for the 28 game with support from the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation. It will mark the 30th time that the city and state have hosted a college football national championship team. Last one, of course, being LSU in 2020. We've got New Orleans and company coming on with us on Monday. We'll continue that conversation then.
Number 2.
An 18-year-old student who brought a weapon to Glen Oaks High on Wednesday was taken into custody, East Baton Rouge Parish School said. The school district received a credible tip that student Antonio Cooley had a weapon. According to school officials, the district was waiting for him when he arrived on campus. The weapon was confiscated after he gave it to authorities willingly, and Cooley was apprehended, taken back to his home.
Number 1.
One person's injured after a shooting on Starring Lane and Boone Avenue. Officials said this happened around 4 p.m. yesterday. Person was taken to the hospital in stable condition.
Well, the White House on Wednesday sent mixed mixed messages about firings because of the ongoing government shutdown, suggesting now that they won't be as bad as first thought.
Yeah, J.D. Vance kind of softened the blow yesterday from what – it was the way Donald Trump said it first. It made it sound like this was going to be rip-roared and just firing everybody at the drop of a hat. And then, of course, it just starts to sift through it. There was a little rhetoric and a little bit of truth, and then it was a lot of rhetoric and a little bit of truth, and here we are now.
Mixed signals indeed, huh?
Yep.
Man. Well, I guess if there are no kids listening, right? Is this a warning? Should we warn the?
Yeah, we should probably give a warning.
Yeah, kids shouldn't be listening.
Okay,
to
yes.
This
If you've got children in the room, you're probably not in the car yet. But if there's children around, just brace yourself.
Yeah. 32-year-old Brittany Fortenberry, a disgraced Indiana teacher accused of forcing teenagers as young as 13 to wear scream masks while having group sex with her, now faces nearly 50 criminal charges after another accuser came forward.
So this is basically like what went down in Livingston Parish a couple of years ago with the cupcake couple. But it's starting to sound like it might be on a bigger scale.
Yeah. There is.
Why are people sick?
I don't know, man. It's disturbing.
It is.
It's so disturbing. But yeah, disturbing to say the least. Good she's facing these charges.
Yeah.
Because kids, man, as young as 13. That is just it's devastating.
Yes.
And more, maybe this is not so much lighthearted news, but you know what? We've got a shark alligator rule.
It's
Sorry.
not bad news.
It's not bad news. A 48-year-old Mexican marine biologist survived a shark attack Saturday during a dive near Cocos Island National Park off Costa Rica's Pacific coast and was reported to be in stable condition.
Yeah, I mean, you
So
survive.
despite being-
you survive a shark attack. That's a lot better news than the way it could have gone.
If you survive a shark attack, like, is that just bragging around? I don't know, right? Do you just walk around with just this inflated ego of like, I survived a shark attack. I can face anything in life.
Probably.
Like, I can-
probably.
You know?
I guess it depends on, like, because you can survive and not walk around.
Yeah.
Shark can
But I mean,
rip off
you know,
a good leg or whatever.
Yeah.
But
That'd be one heck of a story, though.
yeah, I know. That's
Still, like, hey, what happened to your leg? You know what?
That's off the coast of
Let me
Costa
tell you
Rica
about it.
too. So
Yeah.
we're talking Pacific sharks.
Ooh.
Those are traditionally bigger than Atlantic sharks.
Yeah. So
Bigger.
good. Yeah, good on this guy, man. He got out alive. Like,
Yep.
whew.
We're coming up on 611. We're at 611 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We're checking sports in just a little bit. Before we get you to sports, which, by the way, yes, LSU has an off weekend, a bye weekend, but Brian Kelly was still on the SEC coaches teleconference yesterday. That's what we'll have some audio for that on the back end. Before that, though, let me remind you about the folks at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website, FlyBTR.com. They have added direct flights to 3 of LSU's away games. And these are going to be big games, y'all. Vandy, Alabama, Oklahoma. Those are all top 25 matchups right there. The direct flight to Nashville for the Vanderbilt game is specifically for the LSU game. Same thing with Birmingham for Alabama and Oklahoma City to take on Oklahoma. Go to flybtr.com, flybtr.com to get the details on how to book your flight to see LSU on the road this season. It's flybtr.com. Well, I'll find you a different book for ripping pages out. We bring shit for home. We got plenty here. We just won't rip out of that one anymore. We'll start with number 2. Two, then 1, then 5. $6:15. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. It is sports time. LSU's on a bye this week, but Coach Brian Kelly was still on the SEC coaches teleconference yesterday. I tell you what, let's start with the ridiculous before we move forward. Coach was asked about Garrett Nussmeier and the extent of his injuries, and really, like, is it a lot worse than we're thinking right now?
That's misinformation. Those are not based on any facts. They're quite silly, actually. And I know you have to ask the question because people want to know, but this is misinformation. Yeah, early on, he had an ab strain, not a core injury in terms of what a core injury that we deal with. And it's been slow to heal. But as I had mentioned, he's on the backside of that, and he's getting rest this week, and he'll be the Garrett Nussmeier that he needs to be as we get into the very difficult part of our schedule.
I know I might be wrong on this, but I really don't think it's the injury is not the problem here. The offensive line is. And I'm going to stand by that until someone can prove me wrong. And I might be wrong. But when your pocket gets smaller, you can't step into a throw. There's no zip on it. If his injury was as bad as what the internet's saying, then he wouldn't be able to throw at all. Pulling an arm up in order to make a throw would be too painful. We've seen oblique injuries before, oblique tears before. But it's when you are down an offensive lineman, you lose another one pregame, you lose another one in the second half. It has not been a very good time for the offensive line. And I think that shows not just with the pass protection, but with the run game as well. So it is bye week. That does not mean it's a week off for the Tigers. Cut one.
Certainly the open date is for us to, work on the things that need to get better. We need to be more consistent in all phases of our game. We've had some really bright spots, and, clearly those are the things that we're going to be able to highlight to our team, but we have areas that we need to continue to work at to get better. So this is a work week. This is a week where, we look to, be better in the details. So we'll take advantage of it that way and then get ourselves ready for South Carolina next week.
Okay, so clearly there are things to work on, things that need to be hammered out, things that need some fine-tuning. There are bright spots, and then there are some not-so-bright spots. So clearly during the off week, you want to prioritize the not-so-bright spots, like, I don't know, say the run game?
I think first and foremost, the details of the passing game.
No.
And that is from a coaching standpoint and a playing standpoint. We just need to be better there. Look, Garrett threw 15 touchdown passes at this time last year. He's thrown 7. I think we average over 300 yards passing the ball. We're well below those numbers. Everybody wants to talk about the running game, and I get it. But we also have to accentuate the positives of this team, and that's our skill players and our quarterback. So the problem for us more than anything else is we have not been elite in the passing game. And so that's been a huge focus this week. It doesn't mean we're not working on getting better at the running game. We're working diligently there. But my point being is our passing game has to be much more explosive than it has been up to this point.
Okay, but just hear me out here. If the defense is dropping 8, your passing game is never going to be explosive. And till defenses are forced to being honest, one is always going to suffer because of the other. And it's not a chicken and egg situation. And nobody's looking for 50-50 run pass. The late, great Mike Leach once said, if you're looking for 50% run, 50% pass, you're 50% stupid. I miss Mike Leach. Miss him so much. We're coming up on 620 and Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Don't forget Thursday Night Football. Your home for Thursday Night Football is right here on Talk 107.3 FM, your NFL week starts off. I believe it is the 49ers and Rams tonight. Kicking things off, we will join Westwood One's coverage right at heads up 7 o'clock. Kickoff is for 7:15. Yep, it is the Rams. Sans Brock Purdy, but it is the Rams. 49ers and Rams tonight. Both teams 3-1 coming into this contest. Should be a good game, and you will hear it right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Quick break. Coming back, we have another sports-related story next. Did you get that audio? Okay. I believe so. Yeah. Oh, and can you grab the spot that I had you email yesterday as well? I'm sure Haggai is going to want to hear it. 180 Pros, 30. Butthole. Are you not going to? Are you going to the Crimestoppers luncheon? No worries. No worries. No, you're not. If you were to bounce early, would you want to go home, change, come back? What you say? Is it named yet? Are we on that yet? Are we? Is that? I didn't know if that was like legitimately in the mix, or if Taylor was shooting the moon. All right, here we go. All right, let's bring it back to the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. We are looking at some pretty heavy volume on 12 westbound around the Denham Springs, around Range Avenue exit. Now, it clears up before you get to the Amy River Bridge, though, so not a whole lot of worries on that front. And as you make your way all the way through the 10-12 merge, you should be good to go there. It's literally just by the Range Avenue exit. 10 westbound's looking good coming in from Ascension Parish. 10 eastbound from westbound Ridge is looking good as well. 110 is smooth sailing. You know what? As I speak, literally as I speak, a little bit more volume has popped up on 12 westbound in between Airline and the 10-12 merge. So it's not enough to make you want to change your route or anything like that. You're just not going to have as much elbow room on the interstate. Meanwhile, your surface streets, there is nothing going on, y'all. Everyone seems to be behaving. There are no accidents to report at this time. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. .624 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Don't forget, Talk 107.3 is your new home for Kid Trahan's original prep football report. Get live in-game updates, a full statewide scoreboard, and check-ins with correspondents from every corner of the state Friday nights this fall from 6 to 11 p.m. is Ken Trahan's original Prep Football Report, presented locally by Dr. Pepper and the Harold Perkins Jr. tuition program right here on Talk 107.3 FM. There are times where I absolutely hate the internet. I mean, I loathe the internet. Not so much the internet, but the way the internet emboldens people to be stupid. The way the internet emboldens people to just create their own bubble, for one thing, and then absolutely hate upon everything that's not within that bubble. And this morning, it was this morning, I stumbled across a story about hockey fans that have absolutely lost their minds because there's somebody in this world that doesn't like hockey. Let me take a quick moment to say I don't like hockey either. I grew up in South Louisiana. I grew up in 100-degree temperatures with humidity making it feel like 150. I grew up playing baseball at Harbor Field and Father John Field, playing basketball at Mandeville Junior High and then St. Paul's. Like we got sports down here that we play because they're natural to our environment. That's just, there was never a time in my childhood where I would take the skates down to a frozen over Lake Pontchartrain for a pickup hockey game. I wasn't brought up in hockey, and therefore it's not my bag. I would hope that would be okay with the world. I really would. You know who else grew up in Louisiana and similar environment? One Ben McDonald. LSU great, absolute legend. Went on to have a great career with the Orioles as well. Headline reads, "There's growing push for ESPN to fire longtime announcer Ben McDonald." What did Ben McDonald do that was so heinous that he should be fired? Well, I'll tell you what, let's go straight to the audio.
And the Blackhawks return to the ice next Tuesday, NHL opening night against the defending champion Florida Panthers at 5 Eastern, 4 Central on ESPN. Triple header that night, Penguins, Rangers, Avalanche, Kings. Ben, I know you got an opinion on this. Panthers three-peat this year, what do you think?
If you say so. I mean, good luck to them. Are you asking me if I'm going to be watching?
No, you'll be watching, of course, because you work for ESPN. You'll be watching Friday night.
There is zero chance I'll be watching. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Where will you be?
I will be somewhere, but there's zero chance I'll be watching.
All right, thanks, Ben. We'll be watching. Thanks for the rating.
That was it. Zero chance he'll be watching opening night hockey on ESPN. Now, because he is an ESPN employee, should he be promoting that which is on ESPN? Well, he actively took part in the promotion right there. If I was writing a script for Ben McDonald, my answer would have been, when he says, "What will you be doing?" My answer would have been, "I don't know, what's on ESPN 2?" Or what's on ABC, for crying out loud. But to that, the push becomes where the internet gets loose, where the internet goes crazy. After Ben McDonald said he wouldn't be watching hockey, let me see if I can find some of the comments here. Fireable offense, one person said. Ben McDonald enters the job search in 5, 4, 3, ... You should not be allowed to say something like that when you're employed by the channel. There's more. There's so many pop-up ads on this stupid story. What's the reason that so many people are this disrespectful to hockey as a sport? I don't see any other sport get this level of slander. JP, did you hear any slander in there? Did you hear any disrespect in there?
No, not that I can hear.
All he said was, "I won't be
enough.
watching."
That was
That's
enough.
That's
that
all.
was enough, right?
Yeah. If you know what, I'm not going to watch a hockey triple header. Never really been a hockey guy. Hey, best of luck to him. He said.
Right.
He said, best of luck to him.
Mm.
But simply not liking something is a fireable offense.
He should have said, "I'll be boiling a pot of shrimp."
Right.
Because that's what we do in South Louisiana, because it's hot.
Yes. Exactly. There's never going to be a time where Ben McDonald is going to go down to, I don't, what would freeze over in Denham?
Amite River?
The Amite River?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's harder for a river because it's moving all the time. I didn't know if they had like some kind of reservoir I don't know about. All right, fine. There's never a time where Ben McDonald puts on the skates and goes down to the Amite River. We didn't grow up with it. Get over it. It's not slanderous.
He might be in a deer stand.
Wait, I believe teal season's
Or
open.
in a duck blind.
Yeah.
He'd be in a duck
Yeah.
blind.
Yeah,
Because
that's probably where it's at. I hate the internet so much. It just gives everybody the platform to get triggered by the slightest thing. All right. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I just thought it was interesting. Like, he doesn't like hockey. I don't like hockey. I'm not going to watch hockey. I like a lot of the programming on ESPN. A lot of it. Whole lot. I don't know. Does that make it a fireable offense? We got a lot to talk about in the tech world. Haggai Davis going to be in for a cup of tech gumbo next. Yeah. Big time. And somebody else bought the rights to Eagles. Yeah. Since it opened. So, yeah. I don't know why they let it go. Yeah. The oh, the 30-second one was fun. I was dicking around. Yeah, no, we can leave it. Oh, is it better with the lights out? No, no. Ooh, jeez. That helps. That helps. Let's leave it there. Yeah. Does it jam you up? Good's a relative term. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, which was the point? Yeah. So, yeah. What kind of birds? Sure, why not? A lot of birds. You eat more bird. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's you see some of those pictures they take. No, no, but like when my friends do go duck hunting, I'll see a picture of a couple dozen, and that's one friend times a couple dozen. I think it's more 2% of Louisiana's population. I think it's more than that. I don't think it's more than 10. Oh yeah, let me reopen that. I had to close it down because I had two other documents open. Um, Oh yeah, we never did talk about that, did we? Let's start there because they're bots. Yeah, and let's start there because it's why I hate the internet. My favorite response though was, so there was a black guy posted up on TikTok. He said, "You remove both the barrel and the cracker." He said, "We know who you are, and we love you anyway." Or we still, it wasn't "we love you anyway." It was close to that though. It was like, "We know who you are, and it's not gonna stop us from eating there. You remove both the barrel and the cracker." Well, but the thing is, okay, so here, most of the outrage was from bots, but at the same time, though, the outrage was justified. Like, they didn't need to change their logo in the first place. There was no reason to. It's a good question. And I listened to Business Wars. It's my favorite podcast. I just got done with that, with Coke versus Pepsi. Pepsi has changed their name so many times because Pepsi constantly runs second.
Yeah.
They changed their name to keep up.
And so maybe Cracker Barrel needs to try and keep up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people stop going because it's not the 1980s anymore.
Well, there wasn't really the need for a general store in the 80s either. So.
When was the last time you went to Cracker Barrel for dinner?
Oh, I don't go to Cracker Barrel because the one in Ben Ridge sucks ass. If we were somewhere where the service was better, I would go. I don't like paying for things where I know walking in the service is going to be terrible. And I enjoy Cracker Barrel's menu, but I know when I go there, they're just rude and indifferent.
Southern fried chicken steak.
I don't like
smothered in gravy.
I don't like white gravy though. I will say that. 638 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Heading into the break, we're talking about why I hate the internet. So sounds like the perfect time for a cup of that gumbo. What you say, Haggai? How's it going?
Doing great, Brian.
The that last segment right there, I think is kind of the launching pad for where we're going to go here.
Yep.
On the last segment, we're talking about how the internet emboldens people to say things whether they mean them or not. But they you could be on an outrage scale of 1 to 10. You could be at a 1, but it's going to sound like a 10 on the internet.
Absolutely. It was a great segue.
Thank you. Yes. It really put the ball in the tee for a golf reference, which is a game we can play in the South, unlike hockey.
Year round.
Bro, how about that segue? Or recall, I should say.
You're tying it all together.
I'm trying,
You're
man.
Stitching, man. You're stitching.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
you know what it's.
You're Betsy Ross, just putting that flag together.
Yeah. And a great place to sell that flag would be in a Cracker Barrel general store. Let's start with Cracker Barrel because we haven't talked about it yet, and we probably should have. But we got data under our feet now. Had we talked about it when it was going on, there was so much outrage. But was the opposite outrage to what we've seen in the past. Cracker Barrel took a classic logo that everybody saw, everybody knew, everybody related to, and eliminated the two parts of it. As one TikTok user said, you remove both the barrel and the cracker, just to have just cleaned up logo to where it was just their name with a yellow background. The internet lost its mind.
Yes. And it was all created by bots. Over in the first 48 hours of the announcement of the logo being changed, there was a research company that went out and looked at who was generating all of this outrage.
Yeah.
Over half was created by bots. So here are these bots getting everybody all worked up, ginned up. Oh my God, they're taking away our logo. They're changing good old us. They're doing, and so then the after effect is everybody, whoa, well, I got to get outraged too because I saw it on the internet. So let me repost it and get upset because, well, I hadn't eaten in a Cracker Barrel in 30 years, but I mean, I'm still upset about it because the internet told me I should be upset about it.
Right.
And so that's what's happening with the internet nowadays, that we see all these things, these bots that generate these posts. Usually these posts are created in Russia, in North Korea, in China to create dissension amongst the people of the United States. And this was just another one of them.
And the way they do that, it create dissension, is it very quickly stops being about Cracker Barrel and starts being about race. It stops being about Cracker Barrel. It starts when you remove the old gentleman and the barrel from the logo, then the bot creates a post that says something to the effect of just another attempt to remove the white man from history.
Or it's a political attack on, oh, this must be the liberal left doing that. Oh, this must be the wacky conservative right doing this. Oh, and just the feigned outrage that everyone gets all upset about because they saw it on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok or whichever social media platform, instead of doing a little research themselves. And which I'm sure, look, I don't sit on the board of Cracker Barrel. I'm sure they did a lot of research to spend as much money as they're going to do.
They have a board?
It's a bunch of old crackers.
Yeah, I was going to say. You mean Clem and Judy?
You just, all sitting there chewing tobacco, spitting around, in
a rocking chair.
In the rocking chairs.
Playing a giant game of checkers.
In the general store, absolutely, and decide, hey, Ma, let's change things up a little. I think it's a little more than that, obviously, but they made a corporate decision to change their logo. Businesses change their logos all the time.
Yes, and they change their logo when they need a refresh, when they need a rebrand, when they need a boost in sales. And here's the thing, though. It could backfire.
It can.
And this one clearly did. Now, it backfired by bots, but can we all agree that the new logo is useless?
Yes.
I don't, there was nothing about it that's appealing. Now, that being said, can't tell you the last time I went to a Cracker Barrel. And it's not because I don't like Cracker Barrel's menu. I don't like white gravy. I will say that. But the rest of the menu's awesome.
And you call yourself a Southerner?
Give me a big old slab of ham. I'll take a slab of ham. Not a serving, a slab. I want you to hear me right. Slab of ham.
Some smothered green beans with it?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right.
So
I'm just checking your Southern card.
Well, and the other part is here's what you're ready for me to get hate on the internet. Don't chicken fry a steak. Just if you serve me a steak, that's fine. You chicken fried chicken. That's why it's called chicken fried. It's such a delicate balance. It's such a delicate balance that too many people turn that steak into rubber.
Oh yeah.
I understand. I appreciate what they're trying to do, but so give me a slab of ham. Give me the fried chicken.
Now,
give
Brian,
me every side order they've got. Give me all the breakfast all the time.
You do realize the bots are going to just really hate on you now. There's going to be all this faux outrage because Brian doesn't like chicken fried steak from Cracker Barrel.
Correct.
And the bots are going to create all these messes, and they're going to calls to have you fired because you don't like hockey and chicken fried steak.
I'm telling you, it's downright un-American.
I mean,
I don't deserve to be employed by anybody, anywhere, anytime.
We should just take you out back and just beat you with a bloody stump.
Well, yeah.
I mean, good Lord, Brian, what's wrong with you?
I know, and that's where the outrage is going to start to come in. And here's the thing: is well, I mean, what's next? Am I gonna not like the game with the little golf tees in it?
Oh,
where you jump and try and get all the way down to one.
well, I guess you can't have 9 holes in it anymore, or whatever many 12 holes. Whatever. How many of the numbers in that? You can only
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you can only have 6 holes in
There you go.
and it's got to be circled, not triangular.
We gotta stop mathing.
It's a little too early for math.
So while the whole thing was going on, there was this simultaneous rage on TikTok, not rage, the craze on TikTok, where there was this one dude from this one Cracker Barrel, and if he was at the Cracker Barrel here in Baton Rouge, I would be at Cracker Barrel every week. His name is Mark, and he went super duper viral for like 2 months. He was somewhere between a Cracker Barrel waiter and like a Southern Baptist minister.
Okay.
And it was phenomenal. I've never seen someone speak so impassioned, so passionately about Cracker Barrel and why you should go there. I'll tell you what, I'll dig it up during the break. We'll see if we can't find some Mark from Cracker Barrel.
Fascinating.
But okay, let's get back to the point
Yeah.
because we got a minute to go before break. I want to ask this question. As humans, will we ever train ourselves to not take the bait? Is this bot rage so Pavlovian, like it's ingrained in us so much to where it's like Pavlov's dog rings the bell?
There was a report earlier this year. It's like 60% of the things that you see on social media, the posts like that, are all bot generated. And so when people are reposting about, oh, those political right or those political left, they're just reposting things that was created by bots.
Yeah.
So if we would quit paying attention to silly things like that,
That's my
we might
question.
all get
Can
along.
we?
No,
Can we
no,
quit paying
we're,
attention to
we're,
it?
as we're gullible.
We just keep taking the
we're-
bait. I don't understand it.
We're just gullible because we see it with our eyes, so we got to believe it. Oh, well, it makes sense to me. It just sounds right. So as opposed to doing a little bit of research and going, oh, that's not accurate.
Tell you what, let's pause it here, take a quick break. Coming back on the backside, we got a lot more to talk about throughout a Cup of Tech Gumbo. He's Haggai Davis. We will continue next on Talk 107.3. This guy put out a Cracker Barrel video like every day for like 3 months.
He's got to be a store owner.
I think so. And every video feels like an inside joke that was told just before they filmed that they just forgot to share with the rest of the class. Someone asked me one day, Mr. Mark, can you tell us about Cracker Barrel? Tell us how it is. I said, no, you'll have to go for yourself, and you can tell it. So remember, when you go to your local Cracker Barrel, tell it just like it is. A great place to eat. Wonderful dining inside and out. Curbside.
Yeah, this guy, he owns a franchise.
No.
Was this all before the logo change?
Yeah. It was like the week before.
Okay.
Because JP, remember I said when I said they're using this logo as a temporary holding place to set up to let this guy be the new face of Cracker Barrel. So it was gonna be Mr. Mark. I can't get enough of him. I just, it's so terrible. It's awesome. Good morning, Christy. Welcome in, boo. $100%, Troy. Go check your text. Hey, JP, I just sent you a mark from Cracker Barrel. Hopefully it sounds good on the air.
Really? Somebody came up to you, Mr. Mark, tell me about Cracker Barrel?
Every day for months on end, Haggai. Where am I missing? Is Cracker Barrel a cult somewhere that I don't know about? Like, how did we get from point A to point B on this chart here? There's got to be a flow chart somewhere that took us to this point.
That's just a world I don't want to live in. Really? That's where we are?
Can we talk about getting our news from social media as well?
Sure.
And one day I will be able to pronounce blue sky, because every time I read it, I go, what the hell is blueski? 652, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. As we were heading to the break, we were talking about Cracker Barrel and the change in the logo, and Haggai was telling you about the guy Mark from Cracker Barrel. I dug up one. This isn't his best work, but it gives you an example, and this was just all the rage on TikTok. Like, this one dude from this one Cracker Barrel, and how's Cracker Barrel going viral? Well, it's because of Mr. Mark.
Someone asked me one day, Mr. Mark, can you tell us about Cracker Barrel? Tell us how it is. I said, no, you'll have to go for yourself, and you can tell it. So remember, when you go to your local Cracker Barrel, tell it just like it is. A great place to eat, wonderful dining inside and out, curbside, inside, to go, seating everywhere. So remember, tell it like it is. Go to your local Cracker Barrel. Share the news.
Every day.
Tell them how good it is.
This was
Southern
every
fried
day for
chicken,
months on end. This
pancakes,
dude.
French toast, New York strip
Southern
steak.
fried chicken. New York strip steak. I love you, Cracker Barrel, but I'm not. No. Southern fried chicken. Let's stay there. I know. There are no words. There are no words. I understand.
No, just. Again, I guess I'm thankful not to be on TikTok, if that's what you're.
No, sir. It's a glorious place, man. It's a place where on the outside everybody talks about it like it's this bastion of hate, but on the inside, there's nothing but love, man. It's awesome. Yeah, Mr. Mark's there.
Okay.
Cracker Barrel's there. Get you some. Inside, outside, round the side,
Have you ever eaten
backside.
outdoors at a Cracker
I
Barrel?
have not eaten outdoors at a Cracker Barrel.
I mean, I've seen the rocking chairs out in front, but I mean,
just get you in a rocket chair.
I mean,
You spill that white gravy all over you.
oh, okay.
Speaking of TikTok, by the way, it's 6:54 at Talk 107.3 FM. Cup of Tech Gumbo is part of Mornings with Brian Haldane, continuing right now. Haggai, the number of U.S. adults is now over 50%. 53% of U.S. adults say at least sometimes they get their news from social media, which has been a stable but slowly growing number over the years.
Yeah, we found a story from the Pew Research Center that was going back and how much information are people getting from social media as opposed to watching the 5:30 news with Walter Cronkite or the ABC, NBC, CBS News, that kind of stuff, or going to the newspapers, going to radio even. And the amount of people getting more and more of their news from social media, from TikTok, from Facebook, fewer people are going to Twitter / whatever Elon Musk calls it this week. That percentage, has gone down over the past 5 years.
Yeah.
But
to go along with that though, that percentage has gone down in accordance with the number of options there are.
But Facebook's numbers have gone up. Instagram's numbers have gone up.
Yes.
TikTok's numbers have gone up.
Yeah, here, let me rephrase that. X or Twitter's numbers are doing what they're supposed to do when you diversify. The other ones are bucking the trend. The trend bucks the trend.
It just was fascinating to see how many people are going to social media to get news instead of going to news outlets.
Right.
Instead of going to ABC News, CBS News, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, pick an outlet.
Okay, so and that's where I want to pick up the conversation. Because does it really matter? Well, is it a bad thing that folks are getting their news from social media?
Well, if they're getting their news that says you should be outraged that TikTok or that Cracker Barrel has changed their logo instead of going to the Wall Street Journal to see why their Cracker Barrel sales are down, so they're trying to freshen up then yes, it does matter.
But there's an important caveat to that. Are you getting your news from Facebook, or are you getting your news from the Wall Street Journal via Facebook? Facebook doesn't have a news department. Instagram doesn't have a news department. All of us news outlets are posting there.
But they're not. But people aren't reading the Wall Street Journal's post.
Right.
They're reading people's post about what's in the Wall Street Journal, or they're reading just memes, and they're getting their news from memes.
Right.
And I need to be outraged because I saw a meme that said those guys on the other side of the aisle did such and such, and so I'm outraged.
Right.
And that's where people are getting their news nowadays, and they're not getting it from a verified source that does a lot of fact checking and has multiple sources. They're getting their news from a meme that was created in Russia,
right,
or in North Korea or China or wherever, some place that people don't like the United States.
Yes, and that's the problem is the traditional media outlets, the ones who are responsible, they do their due diligence. They make sure, 2 sources before you go to air or 2 sources before you go to print, verifiable sources. Those who do it the right way are lumped into the same category as those who say that Benjamin Netanyahu personally killed Charlie Kirk. You're going to get the same level of push through the algorithm regardless of your level of due diligence.
And that's where the frustration is in this research. I mean, it was a very detailed article about how much people are going to the new sources, to where Truth Social, where there is zero verification of anything, but people are getting their news from Truth Social instead of the Wall Street Journal.
So Truth Social went from 3% down to 2%. I mean,
but it still shows up as people going there to get news.
Yeah,
and that's not to pick on Truth Social. It's the same of any of all of the social media platforms.
Yeah,
and you're not. There's no verification of any kind of facts, of any kind of information from multiple sources when it's just a meme floating out across the internet.
Right. So once again, I think we found a theme here this morning: is the onus is on us.
Should be.
We should be able to discern what is and is not fact, what is and is not opinion. We should be able to determine the difference between, if it's something that enrages you right out the blocks, stop and think about why.
Because we see something and, I like the way that sounds. That makes sense to me.
Confirmation bias.
And so as soon as I see that, I get the knee-jerk reaction. Yeah, I agree with that meme. And so I'm going to go repost it, and people are going to know where I stand on things, as opposed to going, well, wait, why would somebody feel that way?
Right.
And I'm not trying to
But
change people's.
we skip the why because if it reaffirms what we already believe, confirmation bias.
Yes.
If it reaffirms what we already believe, there's no reason to ask why because we believed it.
because we were told previously. And
Full
again,
serving of Tech Gumbo Saturday and Sunday right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Stick around on Facebook Live. This conversation will continue. Sorry, I just looked up and JP gave me the 5-second sign. Wait, hindsight being 2020, I should have blown out the Ben McDonald segment. We should have started early because there's just too much left on the damn bone this morning. Here's where the conversation eventually needs to go. Is there a way, starting with this school year, to start teaching social media discernment, social media like sifting in school? It's ever present. I think the next generation who is brought up on nothing but this ought to be able to learn how to determine what's real and what's not to the best of their ability. Because, and this isn't brand new. This goes back to the previous generation. Like the number of times my dad would forward me an email from a African prince who needed his, this one reads different than the last one. No, it's not different.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You use different words. The ability to tell what's real and what's not is a skill that is going to be needed in the future.
And it's so amazing to me that people can just have such a knee-jerk reaction so quick and want to fire off because they agree with a meme. Not that they agree with a news article that they read by somebody who has done some research.
Right.
You know, and I get the days of influencers where somebody can even post a video of them just saying things. Oh, well, I like the way that sounds. I agree with that person. They must be right. They believe the way I do. Oh, except he didn't. I don't like what he said there, but I agree with him most of the time.
Right.
You know, and
I don't expect to agree with anybody. I don't agree with myself half the time.
But you have to listen to. You have to like everything that comes out of my mouth, or I must be wrong.
Right. Right. Because as soon as you're wrong, you close off and you find another one that supports the echo chamber.
And that's we're just doomed if we can't we all just get along? Sorry, Rodney King.
Sorry.
But you gotta the ability to have a conversation and disagree on things just doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Because there is no.
I mean, I love the fact that Troy Carter comes on as often as he does.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, and I catch so much hate for that. The number of message I get with, that guy's full of shit. Why do you let him on his show? Because he comes from a different perspective.
He's a U.S. congressperson who represents a large portion of this area. And he represents people that live in Baton Rouge.
Right.
I don't agree with a lot of the things he says, but I still want to hear what he has to say.
Right.
It's fascinating to hear the other side's opinion. Maybe you might learn something from the way they think about something.
Right.
And that's what you should be doing. Listen to both sides of the story.
Right.
I mean, yes, Fox News is going to present an argument this way. MSNBC is going to be this way. Listen to both and make up your own mind.
And I don't know why some of the smartest people out there can't tell the difference. Like it doesn't. Level of intellect does not enter this equation. And we're not sheep or fish. And when we see the bait, we bite.
Oh, absolutely. We're quick to. Oh, look, that little worm moving. I'm going to go jump on it. Mm-hmm. That big shiny hook in the middle is not about me. It's not. They're not coming up to me with that hook. But that worm, let me get it.
By the way, my favorite thing about that first chart, aside from Truth Social going from a whopping 3% down to 2%, my favorite thing.
It's going to be a rinse and repeat forecast for your Thursday. Those high temperatures topping out right near 90 degrees. Thankfully, humidity for the most part will stay pretty manageable. Rain coverage will be on the lower side, only expecting some spotty action
is a direct
into the
correlation,
afternoon
I believe.
and evening. Overnight, skies mostly clear. Lows near 68.
If Twitter's going
Friday,
down by 3% and Threads is sitting on 3%, I have to believe that's where that 3%.
I'm meteorologist Balin Rogers with your Storm Station forecast, WBRZ Channel 2.
TikTok is ridiculous. From 3% in 2020 up to 20% in 2025.
Well, in 2020, hardly anybody had ever heard of it.
But 2020 was when we were all locked down and we were just looking for mindless.
And we found it.
Yeah.
We found it in 2020, and more and more people have been jumping on the bandwagon since. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a fascinating. I'm glad we got to it because it was a fascinating article.
I would like to have gotten to the productivity, though.
Yeah, we can hang on to it. That'll up to you. Go for it. Put it on. It's fine.
Remind me of Christopher Lloyd and Angels in the Outfield. You guys were glowing.
7:05 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. JP producing. Starting off your second hour at 72 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Thank you, Haggai. I appreciate Haggai Davis for a cup of tech gumbo right there, which, by the way, continued the entirety of the break. If you're not watching us on Facebook Live, you kind of need to be. A lot of content as we go into break. There's a lot that doesn't always make it to the airwaves, and I appreciate Haggai for sticking around for a couple of extra minutes right there. Busy hour this hour. We got Metro Councilwoman Jenn Racca coming up in our next segment. Let's talk Metro Council business. Jen was just in with us to talk about Thrive EBR. And I was like, man, we spent the entire time on that. But we didn't get to anything else. We didn't get to the health care plan. We didn't get to anything that's been in front of the Metro Council. So can you come back on? She said yes. And she is due up in our next segment. Also this hour, Crimestoppers. I believe Lieutenant Doc Capola is going to be on the phone this morning as opposed to a studio. Why is that? Because today's a big day, y'all. Crimestoppers luncheon coming up today. I can't wait. But before we get to any of that, we get the top stories and trending.
Number 5.
Number 5 starts us off in the tropics. Imelda's not going to be a problem to anybody. Going to sit out there in the Atlantic and just keep on plugging away with maximum sustained winds of 80 miles per hour. However, hurricane season's not over just yet. There are 2 disturbances on the board right now, both of them in the early stages, both of them in yellow. There is a disturbance, a tropical wave that's expected to move off the coast of Africa and meet up with another disturbance in the eastern tropical Atlantic. As of right now, it's got a 20% chance of becoming a named storm over the next 7 days. Meanwhile, much closer to home, there is an area of low pressure that may form along a remnant frontal boundary near the northwestern Bahamas and southern Florida. This one looks like it's projecting a 10% right now over the next 2 days, but it looks like it could have some possibility of progression. And if so, it's actually the closest storm to us all season long.
Number 4.
Baton Rouge Metro could gain 10,500 jobs next year, another 11,100 in 2027, making the area the fastest growing in the state in absolute growth, according to the latest version of the Louisiana Economic Forecast, led by economist Dr. Lawrence Scott, which was presented at the Baton Rouge Business Report's Louisiana Business Symposium yesterday. Statewide, he predicts Louisiana will add 74,500 jobs over that same 2-year span.
Number 3.
College football playoff national championship comes back to New Orleans on January 24th, 2028 in the Caesars Superdome. Sugar Bowl spearheaded the bid effort along with the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation. This will mark the 30th time that the city and state have hosted a college football national champion team. The last one, of course, being LSU in 2020.
Number 2.
An 18-year-old student who brought a weapon to Glen Oaks High School on Wednesday was taken into custody. The school district received a credible tip that student Antonio Cooley had a weapon. According to school officials, the district was waiting for him when he arrived on campus. The weapon was confiscated after he gave it to authorities willingly, and Cooley was apprehended and actually taken back to his home.
Number 1.
One person's injured after a shooting on Starring Lane and Boone Avenue. This happened around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. That person was taken to the hospital in stable condition.
Well, the White House on Wednesday sent mixed messages about upcoming firings because of the ongoing government shutdown, suggesting now that they won't be as bad as first thought.
I mean, who could have seen this one coming? A guy whose tagline is, "You're fired," said that everyone would be fired. And now, maybe not so many people to be fired.
Yeah, speaking at the White House press briefing just one day after Donald Trump mentioned that, Vice President J.D. Vance downplayed the likelihood of layoffs, telling ABC News chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce that, quote, no final decisions have been made, And just moments later, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that they are happening soon. So
What, layoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to see some.
Yep.
We're definitely going to see some. This is one of those ones I think I'm going to dig into it on Monday morning.
Yeah.
If we can. You know who I need to track down for this one?
Who's that?
Grover Norquist.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, you want to talk about if there's a small government guy out there.
Yeah.
I have him on because he comes to the Pelican Institute every so often when they do their Solution Summit. Yeah. And
be a good idea, yeah. It's
been
a while since it's been a while, right? Since
got his business card right here. Look at that.
Go.
I knew I had that in my folder.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, give old Grover Norquist a call. Talk about what the possibilities are.
Heck yeah. Well, this next story, I don't know. I guess I should.
If you have children in the car, fair warning. The next story is graphic. If you, we don't want any children listening because sometimes the news is for grown-ups, and that's what this one is.
Yes. 32-year-old Brittany Fortenberry, a disgraced Indiana teacher accused of forcing teenagers as young as 13 to wear scream masks while having group sex with her, now faces nearly 50 criminal charges after another accuser came forward. Man.
Yeah, we're looking in our own backyard at Dennis and Cynthia Perkins over there in Livingston Parish, and the retrial of who was the third person again? Oh, I'm breaking on the name. We talked about it yesterday with Franz. It was the topic of discussion with Franz yesterday, but now Indiana's living out their own horror of seeing this exact same thing play out, minus the baked goods.
Man, 47
but this one.
Yeah.
So here's where you have an added twist to this one, JP.
Mm-hmm.
The new person who's coming out about Fortenberry says she would invite him over to her house to hang out and do drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, and once imbibing, that's where things would go sideways.
Oh man,
yeah.
Melanie Curtin was the name.
Melanie Curtin, thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, man, just disgusting, man. But yeah, 47 total charges in connection with her alleged abuse, and just devastating. In other news, we have a shark alligator rule story this morning. A 40-year-old Mexican marine biologist survived a shark attack Saturday during a dive near Cocos Island National Park off Costa Rica's Pacific coast and was reported to be in stable condition.
Okay.
Now, the details of this, though, Brian, as I've read on.
Yeah.
We're talking about a 13-foot shark.
Yeah.
Took a bite.
Yeah.
On the head. He bit him on the head.
Wow.
Yes. He was tagging species for monitoring, and when he tagged one of the island shark species, the shark turned, said Luis Fernandez, a physician from the fire department. It was about 4 meters long, and with an enormous bite force, it turned and bit him on the head.
Did it say what kind of shark?
Let's see.
Because the story I had was video, and it was nothing but B-roll of sharks.
Oh,
so
no, it doesn't.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, 4 meters. It's about 13 foot. Let's see. Yeah, it was around 340 miles off the coast. Despite the serious injuries to his head, face, and arms, he arrived at the hospital in stable condition.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely insane. Yeah. It's
you think about that guy. That guy's waking up after getting bit by a shark. Like he's waking up to a new day. He's waking up in the hospital after getting bit in the head by a shark. You think he cares what Cracker Barrel's logo looks like?
No, he doesn't.
You think he cares if Ben McDonald watches hockey?
He doesn't. I don't think he cares at all.
Now watch.
This guy's got real problems.
The response on the internet is going to be Brian Haldane said everybody needs to get bitten by a shark. That's how that's going to play. Because that's why the internet's awful.
Oh, man.
We're at 7:13 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. I'll tell you why the internet's great, though, is the Mathern's Rewards app.
There we go.
Oh, wait, the new deals are out. Hang on now. What do we got going on? What coupons are out there for Mathern's this week? By the way, if you do your shopping online, Mathern's builds the deals right into your shopping list. It's awesome. The Fiora paper towels, $2.99 for, is that a 6-pack? Okay, let's go. Yeah. They've also got, let's see, which is basically $1 off. You got 75 cents off on salad dressing, $1 off on Craven trail mix, and the list goes on. And yeah, it's $1 here, $1 there. Before you know it, though, you start really saving up some money by doing your shopping via the Mathern's Rewards app, and they bring it right out to your car, and you earn cash towards more groceries every time you shop. It's amazing. It's good at the Nicholson Drive location right across the street from Tiger Stadium, or on Highland Road, just west of Kenilworth. It's Mathern's. Good morning. Oh, I'm well. How are you? You had me. Yeah. Yeah. What are we talking about? So I know the healthcare plan. What else did y'all been working on? Are you comfortable talking about that? We can talk. Okay. Yeah, yeah. 717 Talk 1073 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. So it was a week ago we had Metro Councilwoman Jenn Racca on talking about Thrive EBR, and we didn't get to talk about any other council business. So I said it's time to call her back. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing very well. Glad to have you in this morning. We're going to cover like everything else or as many things as we can. No, glad to have you on here. We'll see if we can't go a full segment without getting either of us in trouble.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite word.
Well, let's start off with y'all been doing some work on the Metro Council to save the city parish some money.
Sure, yes.
And that's talk about health benefits and whatnot. Walk me through where we are right now and how we got there.
Okay, so where we are now is we've made some changes internally to our plan.
JP, can we get her up a little bit more? Thanks. Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That's better.
The changes that we made to our plan are basically internal changes. We moved from a self-funded plan for retirees to a subsidized plan for retirees, but the plan design is still the same. The network is still the same. All of the things are still the same, except for this plan that we're offering these retirees is completely free for the retiree. So it's a very interesting plan that we designed with our consultant. And people hear the word Medicare. It's Medicare Blue Advantage through Blue Cross Blue Shield here in the state of Louisiana. And the other option that they currently have, they have two plan options for people that are not Medicare eligible. They can stay on that plan that they want, but it does cost money and prices are going up. So we thought it would be great to go and look into this plan. 1,000 retirees are currently on that plan, and they love it. So we're just looking into moving those retirees onto that plan and giving them the option to opt out if they don't like it. They actually have 90 days, I think, to try it out, see if it fits, see if it works, see if their doctors are happy with it. And if they don't like it, then they can move back.
Okay. I understand how this saves the retirees money if it costs them nothing, but how does it save the city money?
So simple math. Let's talk about, so if you have a self-funded plan, the plan may cost the city, and these aren't exact numbers, but let's just use round numbers because I hate math. So the plan would cost the city $500. Okay, $250 would be paid by the retiree $250 would be paid by the city.
Okay.
So if that retiree goes and has a medication that costs $2,000 a month, so you have $1,500 that the self-funded plan picks up, right?
Okay.
So in this plan, if it's same scenario, same numbers, except for the retiree pays nothing, the city pays the full $500. When the retiree has the $2,000 medication, the federal government comes in and subsidizes that additional $1,500.
Okay.
So it doesn't cost the city money, it doesn't cost the retiree money, and that subsidy comes from the Medicare Advantage plan.
Okay. Why make it optional?
So there are some rules with regard to the plan of government, and other cities, other municipalities have actually mandated it. What we did was we did opt out. So retirees that are eligible will be placed on this plan, and they can opt out and go on back to their other plan if they choose to have that extra expenditure.
I'm sorry. Let me re-ask the question. For those that are already retired, I understand that they're setting their plan, and they might want to, they might not want to.
Sure.
But is there part of this where it's moving forward? This will be the way. If you've not experienced it yet, this will be the new way.
As of right now, no.
Okay.
As of right now, no. But again, for retirees out there, they will be moved on in this plan. So they have to participate in open enrollment like everybody else, has to do, and decide, hey, I don't want this plan. I want to go back to the plan that I'm paying more money for.
But they have to start there before moving back.
Correct.
Okay. And numbers wise, and I know round numbers are fine, but numbers wise, the projected savings for the city will be what?
$16.3 million
Per year?
Per this year.
Okay.
So with health insurance, things increase anywhere between 10 to 20% a year. And look, the $16.3 million is not all money that goes back into the general fund. These dollars that are savings, I think somewhere close to 10 million of them are going to absorb the inflationary cost of healthcare. So it's $16.3 million that we didn't have to pull from anywhere else.
Right.
But the savings have gone to the costs that were rising year over year.
Okay. Metro Councilwoman Jenn Racca in with us, talking about where the city parish is hopefully saving us some money, and just for the assuredness of future budgeting. I mean, it's yeah.
Look, there are some council members out there, and I would say a large majority of them are everywhere. You saw 11 people supported this wholeheartedly, like unabashedly said yes, loud and in their microphone. They are looking everywhere for savings, everywhere for dollars. We're trying to make sure that we can find whatever savings we possibly can and not pass that along to our employees or our constituents.
Yeah.
Trying to do everything we can to lessen the tax burden, but also to not increase that tax burden.
What? Look, I was joking last week that I jokingly said you and Rowdy were over at my house digging in couch cushions.
We were.
You came out with a dime, 2 pennies, and a Cheeto.
And we were excited about it.
Not saying who ate the Cheeto. We've got Metro Councilwoman Jenn Racca in with us. The healthcare plan's big news, and y'all are doing a lot right now. And I don't want to nickel and dime the whole thing. I want to move over to another topic that I don't think we can escape from right now. And it seems to be getting everybody in trouble the second they open their mouth, no matter what side they're on. The governor's come out saying 1,000 National Guard troops are going to come to Louisiana. That's going to be divvied up between New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Shreveport. And a lot of folks are very, very much against this. And everybody is required to have an opinion. So what's yours?
So my opinion is I fully support it. And look, I'm getting called all kinds of ugly names online, and I'm okay with it. Call me whatever you want. But what you can't call me is unaware of my district's needs. So 3 weeks ago, I was at a crime prevention meeting, and these folks are begging me to place police officers in the front of their neighborhood because there's crime activity that happens at the front of their neighborhood, drug deals, God knows what, and they're begging for assistance. You know what we don't have? Police officers to put in the front of the neighborhoods. You know what they don't have? Resources to pay for those police officers off duty to be there in front of their neighborhood.
But they're paying for a crime prevention district.
Sure, but the costs are large. The costs are large. So I have in my neighborhood an officer that's there all the time. Okay, we have other neighborhoods where they have officers around the clock.
Yeah.
Okay. There are neighborhoods that can't afford it. There are absolutely neighborhoods that cannot afford those costs. Would they want the National Guard in their neighborhood? I don't know. We can ask them. We can see if they want some folks posted up at the front to deter crime. I had a shooting on Starring Lane yesterday.
Yep.
I had a double homicide at the Hub. I have a shopping center where there was smash and grab, cash registers breaking down windows, stealing stuff multiple times in my area. Maybe they want those folks in their driveways. We had a shooting at LSU right in the middle of an LSU game. Now, nobody was hurt. No one was injured, but shots were fired.
Right.
People were running. I have people from Calcasieu Parish texting me saying, hey, do y'all know anything about this? My kids are at that game. So there are things that my district needs. There are people that are talking that need additional law enforcement. We don't have the law enforcement officers to be able to do that. We are 100 short, and that's with BRPD. So I'm looking at it in the public safety aspect, but I'm also looking at it as if we can have these people somewhere that where they are just providing a service or just standing guard or just being there deterring crime in any way, shape, or form, our officers can go out and do the job that needs to be done because we're short.
Right. And so the first argument that comes up is National Guard does not have arresting power.
They do not.
And they don't need it. If they're there in a support role,
sure.
If you're able to take one BRPD officer along with two National Guardsmen, the one BRPD officer can make all the arrests. If you are, and to be fair, Metro Councilwoman Jenn Racca with us for a couple more minutes. We don't know what the plan looks like yet.
No, and no one does.
Right. And so, on the one side,
we had to start with sending a letter to request the National Guard come.
Right.
That is the first step. And that was what was done by Governor Landry. Everything else has been blown out of proportion, people picking sides. We don't know if we're even going to get the folks here. But if there's an opportunity for the federal government to pay and add support here in Louisiana, why would we say, hey, no, Louisiana's doing great, our crime rate is awesome, send those folks over to Mississippi?
Well, there's another part to this, though, in that when you break down per capita crime numbers, you really have to wonder why Monroe's not in the game.
Sure.
And the short answer is because not enough people overall. Bulk numbers, it's us in New Orleans.
Right.
Per capita numbers, Monroe jumps to the top of the list.
But I think the mayor pointed out a very interesting piece. Bulk numbers, sure, but think about the large places where we have major crowds of people regularly. LSU games, Southern games, Mardi Gras. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to come into play, and that's going to be a factor moving forward. Maybe we don't know it yet. There are a lot of things that we don't know. Heck, people question me all the time, but there's so much information coming in and out of my council office with the mayor's office. They don't have the full story. Luckily, you have me on here oftentimes to tell you. We have to sit here and understand that maybe we don't know the full story yet.
Right. Yes, and the where is important, is just as important as
Correct.
the how. The where is so much important because I know the people digging their heels in against this before knowing what the plan looks like, and I'll say this so you don't have to. They're basing this off nothing but race. Yeah. It's like there's going to be a racial component to, and I don't believe that to be true. I believe that when you look at a map of Baton Rouge and you look at it smartly, you can pick out where most of the crime happens in Baton Rouge, and I don't think that's going to correspond with any demographic individually because there are hot spots.
I get it. And look, I agree with that partly. Part of my district is a very unique makeup of folks.
Yeah.
But I can tell you the people that are the loudest has nothing to do with race. They're
right.
the same color as you and I, but they're safely tucked away in their houses along LSU lakes.
Yeah.
And they're safely tucked away in their homes where they have officers sitting outside of their homes 24/7.
Right.
And they're not the people that call me regularly with property crimes where their windows are busted out and people are snatching everything they possibly can out of their vehicles.
Right.
That's not the same crowd.
No. I live in Sherwood Forest, unbelievably safe in Sherwood. The areas around it, not so much.
Right.
You go behind Sonny's Barbecue at like North Mark Ann, those streets back there, the homicides every other week. You go on the other side of Old Hammond Highway, same story. Not as violent recently, but and then right on the other side of the railroad tracks here. There are hotspots involved.
So a perfect example are my folks in Walden, who they have their neighborhood. They're tucked away. They're pretty safe. However, there are neighborhoods across a little waterway, and they have people across this little tiny waterway that are shooting into a levee style type of mound, and the gunfire often goes over. They're doing target practice back there. The gunfire will often go over that dirt hill and go into people's homes and into their garages and into their vehicles. We have proof of it. There are police reports. And when we get police officers out to these other neighborhoods to say, hey, who's out here shooting? We don't have answers because they're already gone. So it's every single day.
Yeah.
It's every single day.
So even within that, I mean, within this like 4 minutes that we spent on it, there are 5-6 different spots around Baton Rouge that have nothing to do with race and everything to do with reports, calls and reports of where crime's coming in from. Yep. Now, that being said, as we get closer to learning, what this is going to look like, how difficult is it going to be to have a real discussion when it feels like everybody's heels are dug in before we even know?
Look, we have to have the discussion. We have to come to the table with facts and not feelings. We need to sit here and we need to talk about where our need is. And look, if folks don't want these people in North Baton Rouge, like I said, I think I have several HOAs that'll volunteer and say, come on over, give us some relief, let some of the costs go. I have some crime prevention districts that would be happy to have them over there. I just think that it's going to have to be discussions, and whatever they don't want, I'm pretty sure there's some folks in District 12 that'll be happy to take it.
Well, as long as the discussion's rooted in numbers, I don't see how people can be against it. But it's got to be as long as it's rooted in numbers. But
there are no two districts alike,
right?
And folks will welcome, and some folks will welcome, and some folks will not. So you just have to, I guess, have those conversations, and I guess those are ongoing conversations with the mayor. But again, I thank Governor Landry for asking for those troops.
She is Metro Councilwoman Jenn Racca. Thank you so much for a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We get a break for local news, traffic, weather. Lieutenant Don Capola will be on the hotline for Crimestoppers next. Kill the mics. Kill. 738 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane. Rolling right along. Crime Stoppers coming your way in exactly 60 seconds. Need to remind you about Vex European. VEX, VexEuropean.com. You know what? I think I need to go see Vinny and his team real soon at Vex European for something that seemingly simple, but sometimes when a vehicle's built out the way a vehicle's built out, it takes a little bit of help. I got a burnt out headlight, which I have the replacement headlight, and I open up the hood, and it's like, man, I got to take other pieces out to get to this thing. All right, well, if I got to take other pieces out, and it's going to be like, I don't need a Lego kit, let me go ahead and make my appointment over at Vex European, let them take care of it, so I can get back up to running smoothly, which, doesn't affect the engine of my car, because Vex already takes care of that. When you take your car in for basic maintenance, they give it the once over. They give it the full inspection. And if you're talking basic maintenance, if you're talking major repairs, if you drive a European vehicle, I would highly, highly, highly recommend starting at VexEuropean.com. All right, time for Crime Stoppers. Let's go. Welcoming in Lieutenant Don Capola. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So, full disclosure for the audience, we keep no secrets around here. You called me yesterday and said, do we mind doing this on the hotline today? And honestly, Don, you didn't even need to do that because I know what your day is looking like today. So let's start off with one last little preview of what's coming up at lunch.
Yes. So, first of all, I regret not being in the studio because I would rather be in there with y'all. But yeah, today is our Crime Stoppers Awards luncheon. We do this, it's our annual luncheon. We recognize those men and women in public safety who go above and beyond, not only public safety, but our community as well, who go above and beyond to make Crime Stoppers what it is today.
And it's as someone who has attended this luncheon for a number of years in a row now, I could tell you it's one of the most well-run events there is, and it's a very, very humbling room to be in. When you could look around that room and see the men and women who respond to the call, it's just we have so many negative stories in the news on a day-to-day basis, and there's so much misinformation out there about law enforcement. When you actually see the people who do it, the people who run towards the danger, it's humbling for one thing, but heartwarming for another to see that there's that much love under one roof.
Oh, it really is, and as you mentioned, the support and our law enforcement, our fire, our EMS, all of our public safety, and just to have the support that we have, and not everything is a positive light, but when it comes down to it, we know that the public, the community has our backs and will support us, and that is what else can you say about that? It's just say thank you, and this event continues to grow and grow every year, and we want that to continue, and we appreciate that all of the hard work that you and the Guarantee family do for us as well.
We got Lieutenant Don Capola on with us for Crime Stoppers, and just as an aside, the luncheon is, of course, one of y'all's bigger fundraisers of the year, because it's important that the coffers stay full for the tips, man.
Wait, I missed what you said, but I'm sorry.
I said the luncheon is along with the awards. It is a fundraiser, and it's important that the coffers stay full for the tips because the tips keep on coming in.
Actually, absolutely, the tips keep on coming in. You can call us. You can go to the P3 Tips app. I know you mentioned you had a headlight that was out. Please don't call. Brian's going to take care of that. but yeah, and again, this program is just continuing to get bigger and bigger, and our initiative with Beyond Bars and trying to reach out to the youth and let them know as far as the choices that they make. They may have consequences, and some are life changing, and we can get into that later. But we're looking forward to today, and we appreciate everyone who has stepped up and supported us, and will continue to support us. And we just say thank you.
Absolutely. And of course, that's mutual. In the meanwhile, let's catch some bad guys. Who are we looking at today?
Yeah, so we're going to start off with our Crimestoppers, Capital Region Crimestoppers Facebook page. Baton Rouge police investigators are looking to identify an individual who is responsible for a theft at a grocery store in the 9600 block of Airline Highway. He entered the store on a mobility impaired cart carrying a backpack. Rolled himself to the meat department, where he helped himself to several items of meat that he stuffed into the backpack, concealing these items, and then made his way past the cash registers, making no attempt to pay for these items. And he was observed getting into a larger passenger vehicle, believed to be or resembling a Lincoln Town Car. Okay. So there's a good picture of him on our Facebook page. If anybody recognizes him, give us a call, Crimestoppers 344-7867, or our P3 Tips app.
So much to unpack here, Don. I don't know where to begin. First and foremost, a motorized cart is a getaway vehicle. How about it?
Well, you can make your way. You're not going to get very, very far, very fast. No. But yeah, you're right.
The Lincoln Town Car was an upgrade.
Keep on rolling.
I mean, you don't see a whole lot of high-speed chases starting from the scooter store.
Correct. He did upgrade to that passenger vehicle, but yeah. So we think it's a real good picture. We believe somebody has his identity.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic picture of the guy. He's wearing sunglasses and a hat. Older African-American gentleman, completely white beard. And yes, you do see him on the motorized cart. Now, follow-up question. Did the motorized cart belong to the store? Like, he rolled in on it, but was it his?
Well, and I don't have that information.
Okay.
But I do know that, he was on that cart.
Yeah.
And you see in the photograph that he was. But it's a great picture. Somebody surely can recognize this individual. And all we ask is you give us a call, and if your information leads to his identity and then later on to his arrest, you're eligible for a cash reward.
And if you get that cash reward, you can go buy your own meat, because
you can go buy your own meat. Exactly.
Nobody ever steals kale.
No.
Who else are we looking for?
So we have an unsolved traffic homicide involving a Jesse Johnson Sr. This occurred back in July 2nd, 2023 at the airline in South Choctaw. It's believed an older model dark colored truck, damaged possibly to the driver's side, collided with Johnson, who was operating a motorcycle at the time. The driver of the suspect vehicle continued to flee in the easterly direction on Greenwood Springs Road, making no attempts to stop and render aid. This is one of those we talk about, Brian, time and time again, and along with our shooting homicides, those that are left unsolved. To add to that one, traffic homicide investigators are searching for information regarding a felony hit and run investigation, which occurred back in August of this year. They're looking for a 2013 to 18 Nissan Altima, black in color, damage on the passenger side of the vehicle, which struck a pedestrian. Matt Willis III, 45 years old, later succumbed to those injuries at a local hospital sometime after that crash. I will have that up sometime today on our Facebook page, but if anybody has any information on on either of these two unsolved homicides or any unsolved homicide that any investigator within our non-parish area is working, pick up the phone. You may have the piece of information that they are looking for to find the one or ones responsible, and more importantly, give the family the peace they need so they can have closure.
Capital Region Crime Stoppers page is where you're going to find them on Facebook. It's the Capital Region Crime Stoppers page. And, yeah, the photographs up there are unbelievably clear, like unusually clear. There's a lot of really good pictures, very good identifiers within. If you can help out, 344-STOP, 344-7867 is the phone number, or visit or use the P3 Tips app if you have visual or audio evidence that is a good tip. The P3 Tips app is great to have. In the meanwhile, he is Don Coppola. You got a busy day, man. We'll let you get back to it.
Busy day. Thank you. And we look forward to seeing you all this afternoon.
See you in a couple hours. Don Coppola for Crime Stoppers. We've got Your Money Now coming up in just a quick second. Do need to remind you, though, about the Louisiana Business Weekly podcast, your source for the latest in Louisiana's business landscape. I'm the host of the show, but I'm definitely not the star of the show here. These are business owners telling their business stories, successes, failures, all about their why, how they got to where they are, how winding was the path. The storytelling is fantastic. It's available wherever you get your podcasts on demand and talk1073.com. Here's Your Money Now. Oh, my word. Oh, so tired. Oh, shit. Okay. Hey. It's just nonstop. The falls are ridiculous. You have kids? So I have a freshman at Southern Miss, an 8th grader at Mercy, and a 4th grader. Oh. The Monday. No, I wasn't in carpool. We went to extended day Monday. Yeah. There's a huge contingent of walkers that all live on before Goodwood, in between Goodwood and Government. Seven Oaks is a few blocks over. I'm not going to remember the name of the street, but you know, it's the old Goodwood subdivision. Esplanade. Esplanade is the name of the street. You should go out there for Halloween. They block off both ends of the street, and it's trick or treating, but it's one big block party. Okay, I got a friend who lives out in Pollard. So we're gonna bang out this one quick segment, and then you'll be out right after the top of the hour news. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. So what we learned with having a freshman in college, we lost our driver. Yeah. But yeah, it's the 8th grader. She's got basketball and cross country. And then the 4th grader's got cross country. So, and for it is difficult because what? So yeah, I've got my wife works at Mercy, so we have the benefit of if everything's too hectic, then one can just stay at extended day. The name sounds very familiar. All good. I'm done with that document for the day. 7:55 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Got to remind you very quickly before we get to this day in history. Remind you about the folks over at Breck. The Rapid Response Ticket System is open. Rapid Response Ticket System is something that Breck has instituted, which is just absolutely fantastic. Look, they got a ton of parks. They got a ton of facilities. They are doing their level best to keep everything up and running, but from time to time, you need a little bit of help. We can be the eyes and ears for Breck on this one. We can be the eyes and ears to help out when it comes to, you see something broken at a Breck park, you can let them know. It's super duper simple, by the way, and they set up a phone number, which I have not yet committed to memory, but I need to. That phone number is, you can call or text in the issue, 225-310-BRECK, 225-310-2732. The Rapid Response Ticket System is open. It's up and running, and we can, help Breck along the way to keeping their parks at a gold medal level. 225-310-BREC. Time for this day in history.
All right, beginning in 1789, where George Washington transmits the proposed constitutional amendments known as the United States Bill of Rights to the states for ratification.
Okay.
1919, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson has a stroke, leaving him partially paralyzed.
Oh,
wow,
no.
man. 1950, the first strip of Charlie Brown, Lil Folks, later named Peanuts.
Peanuts, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. All right.
It's published in 7 nationwide newspapers.
Okay.
1959, The Twilight Zone premieres on CBS. And 1984, Papa John's Pizza is founded in Jeffersonville, Indiana.
All right.
John Schneider.
1967, this day in 1967,
Okay.
Thurgood Marshall was sworn in as the first black associate justice of the U.S. Supreme Court.
All right, yeah. Love to see that. 1996, a Pearl Jam show in Hartford, Connecticut ended in a riot when mass fighting broke out among 30,000 strong crowds.
Okay.
Apparently they were fighting over the on what he's really saying in Yellow Ledbetter. In 2001, NATO states it will support U.S. military strikes against Afghanistan in retaliation for the 9/11 terrorist attacks. And in 2024, the Nintendo Museum opens in Japan, focusing on the company's 135-year history.
There's a Nintendo Museum?
Oh, man.
All right. Birthdays.
Well, I got Gandhi, Groucho Marx. I have Sting from the Police.
Yeah.
And Kelly Ripa and Don McLean.
Add Johnny Cochran to that mix.
Okay.
And I think we're good to go.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Deaths, I have Samuel Adams and Tom Petty today. Passed away in 2017.
That's the same ones I had.
Yep. National Days, you got any more deaths?
No.
Or anything? Bring Your Bible to School Day.
Okay.
It's a good one.
That'll work.
Yeah. And then, International Day of Nonviolence. So how about bring your Bible to school and no violence today?
Yeah, I had fried scallops day, so we're going to roll with yours.
All right.
All right. 7:59 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We are due up for another quick break. Before we take that break, let me remind you about Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is the website. LandmarkBankLA.com. Founded in 1897 as a community bank, and here in 2025, they remain a community bank. Sticking with the mission for more than 100 years. If you're in Zachary, if you're in Clinton, if you're in Denham, if you're in Brewley, in fact, if you go to LandmarkBankLA.com, hit that little About Us drop-down tab, you can get all the locations and hours right there. What do you get from a community bank? You get that personal service. You get a banker. You get someone, not something, someone who can help you achieve your wants, dreams, and desires when it comes to, are you buying a home, buying a car, send someone off to college, planning for retirement, planning for just general savings, starting a business? Have a banker, not just a bank. LandmarkBankLA.com. All right, top of the hour. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. Calli Boudreaux is running for judge. She's going to join us next. All right. Here. Yep. And it's directly into the microphone. It doesn't pick a whole lot up. Oh. Right there. So the problem is none of these chairs make anybody look good. It's like no matter what, I just come out looking. It's like I'm a heavy guy generally, but like I sit in this chair, I look like Jabba the Hutt on camera. Yes. Oh, so yeah. You think about that campaign time and Halloween time. I mean, that's you know. See. Oh yeah. Little bit crack rocks, man. They're just because it's sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar. It's like how much sugar can we pack into this one little thing of sugar? Yeah, your bio, a lot about just really about you. And then do you have a website? Easy peasy. Napoleonville. Wife from Baton Rouge. Oh, you said you have a sophomore in college. At LSU, okay. Boy, girl? That's funny.
They're like literally like a foot and a half tall.
That's funny.
We brought our oldest yesterday was his first time voting ever, so that was really cool.
So we have like 9 minutes, but it's going to go by really fast. So, but don't skimp on details. And look, I mentioned this to you. I hope we can make this happen. I want to have both of y'all in.
Yeah, my schedule's just
It doesn't have to be morning show. I'll throw Killmeat out for an hour to like.
I'll talk to Scott about what next week.
Okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, the only day I can't do is Wednesday because I've got to do the Rotary. So, who was the Secretary of Energy in Trump's first term? Dan Brouillette. I had this long-running bit with Garrett Graves that Dan Brouillette's from Pankerville. And Garrett would always correct me and say, no, he's from Napoleonville.
I did not know that.
It was hilarious. Like, it was one of those ones where if you listen to the show regularly, you catch on to it and whatnot. But, like, his Wikipedia says he's from Pankerville. And he's like, no, Napoleonville. Like, Garrett, you're talking about your front yard could be in Pankerville, your backyard in Napoleonville. It got to be fun. 806, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you, JP producing. All right, we are overloaded with guests this hour, so we need to keep it moving. I want to start off with early voting is open right now for the October 11th election. There are a few judge races on your ballot. If you live downtown, the Downtown Development District's millage is on your ballot. We'll talk about that in our next segment. Right now, though, I want to focus on one of those judge races. We've got Calli Boudreaux running for city court judge. Calli, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well as well. One of the things I like to talk about when we talk with people running for judge, is the role here. Was the shot? We'll get to that in a little bit.
Sure.
Let's start off by getting to know you.
Okay, sure. First of all, this is early voting this week. The election is going to be on October 11th. We've been campaigning for 6 months now. I'm an Ironman triathlete, and I've been saying this was going to be a marathon of a campaign, and it sure has been, but we've been working really hard. Super excited to get to the end of this campaign. Quick background on myself. I grew up in Napoleonville, Louisiana. My father was a owner of an Ace Hardware store there for 49 years. Mother was a teacher. He taught me how to work hard from a very early age. I moved here 25 years ago to Baton Rouge to go to LSU for undergrad. Continued my studies straight from undergrad to LSU Law School. Straight out of law school, I started working for Watson, Blanche, Wilson, and Posner. We do medical malpractice defense work, very complex litigation.
Okay.
I've tried jury trials and bench trials all over the state. I started working also as a special assistant attorney general, working on their complex cases as well. So I've made my career doing litigation work. And my wife is from Baton Rouge, grew up here. She went to Baton Rouge High. We have a sophomore at LSU, Go Tigers. Well, he's learning all the things that college kids learn. I've loved watching him grow over the last 2 years. And we have a junior at Baton Rouge High. So that's a little bit about me. I can give you more information about the campaign and any questions that you have.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your legal background, because that's going to lend towards qualifications for the post. So,
of course,
you mentioned an emphasis on medical malpractice.
Correct.
Where else has your legal career taken you?
So we've done I've represented hospitals and doctors across the state. So with that, you also get kind of all their general cases, your slip and falls and that sort of thing, but mainly a civil defense based practice over the years. So.
Okay. Well, I guess it's a fair time to get. Well, no, outside of work.
Yeah.
Community involvement.
Yeah, really, that's been a huge part of this campaign. To me, as important of what a judge does when they're inside the courtroom is what they're doing when they're outside of the courtroom. I've been highly involved in our community for years, and actually that can kind of segue into my why. The first part of my why is I told my mom in 6th grade when I came home from school, a judge had spoken to our class. I told her that I wanted to be a judge, but more importantly, I started doing work with CASA. If anyone doesn't know what CASA is, it's a court-appointed special advocate. So I've been assigned to one child in the foster care system, and I'm basically his voice for the court system. Nothing to do with my legal job, but through my work with that, I realized how much all of the court systems work together, and that I was making a difference with this one child. And I've been saying I'm not naive enough to think I can change the world or even change this city. But if I can make a difference in the courtroom for those people that are coming in my courtroom each and every day, making them feel like a human and making them feel seen and heard, I think I'm doing my job. So I realized through my work with CASA that this is really something I feel passionate about. I know I'm going to I have the temperament needed for the bench, and I'm going to do a good job at it. Outside of my work with CASA, I work with CAA. That's the Companion Animal Alliance. I help to put on their event that's called Furball.
Oh, no. So Franz Borghart's a regular on the show?
Franz. I do know Franz well.
Yeah, he's trying to put a tiara on a dog, I swear.
My dog was the king, not the queen.
Okay.
So. And I also do work with the Rocket Kids Foundation. My wife was chairman of the board for 5 years. We were talking before the segment started. I'm used to working with a microphone. I'm the MC for most of our local triathlon races, especially the kids races. So calling folks into a finish line for hours at a time can get tiring. So I know what this live radio is like in the morning. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got to be up. It's got to translate through the microphone.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So.
All good things. I want to stick with that CASA volunteer for just a minute, though.
Yes, sir.
We are really blessed to have. Man, they're right there.
They are, and it's a beautiful.
Sorry, on the radio,
facility.
that was me pointing right behind me. We're very, very active CASA here.
Yeah,
in
it's
a
wonderful organization.
And it's so often such an underlooked mission, or overlooked mission.
Yes, yes.
So,
and I've learned so much about the system outside of my own legal work that I did not have access to with the type of legal work that I do. And just learning that you have the opportunity. It's a very unique opportunity that you have in city court, which is these kids, most of these kids start off in the juvenile court system, then you end up in city court. And then by the time you get to district court, you're in big trouble.
Right.
So you have the opportunity to course correct as a city court judge.
Okay.
A unique opportunity that you don't often get other than juvenile court judges as well. And I'm really looking forward to using the background and the knowledge that I've had in CASA to do that.
Calli Boudreaux's in with us. She's running for city court judge. She's jumping my notes because that's the next question. What does a city court judge do?
So city court judges, you will see mostly the criminal side is mostly traffic court. So all of your traffic tickets, and then all criminal up to a DUI. So no offenses higher than that. The longest jail sentence that can be given would be a 6-month jail sentence. So
okay.
Outside of that, you're doing collections, you're doing evictions, and then where my bread and butter clearly would be the civil side. So that's up to $35,000 in lawsuits. You also have small claims court, which does not involve attorneys, which is up to $5,000. So
when you look at that very narrow scope of what the court does, how do you apply your skill set, your 18 years as a practicing attorney? How do you make one apply to the other? Because I mean, when you're going into the world of being an attorney, it's city court judge or like that which would be in city court to begin with isn't the normal path.
Right. And I think any trial attorney out there knows once you've been in the trenches in a jury trial, which in these med mal cases that we do, they're very complex. You're trying to teach a jury about medicine as well as actually trying a case. So it is a highly complex, and that will translate well over to the bench as far as my legal knowledge and my ability to look at facts and evidence and make decisions on cases. But I think the edge that I have on the other side of this is my community involvement. For the last 6 months, I've met with community leaders. I've gone to countless fundraisers and events that have been held around this town and talked to so many. This town is full of so many interesting and good people and people that want the best for this city.
Yes.
And I've heard from all of them. I've heard what people want from their local judges, and I'm really looking forward to being able to implement.
Well, and that's why I asked about the city court judge specifically, because every court has a different role.
Right.
And I don't know that we all grasp what we want from a city court judge.
Right. It's a judge of the people, right? You want to be there for the people that are coming into your court every single day and have each one of them feel like they're being heard, respected, understood, and then looking at the facts and the evidence of their particular case that's coming in front of you and making a decision.
So on your website where it says judicial philosophy, the top bullet point you have, and we got 1 minute left, so we're going to have to end on this one. The top bullet point you have says conservative temperament.
Yes.
Spell that out for me. What does that mean?
I've come from a conservative background. I find myself to be a very moderate conservative. I've worked with CASA. I've done all these different, seen all these different areas of life and areas of Baton Rouge. I know that I have the temperament needed. In fact, that's one of the things when you ask people about me, they will say, I'm a good person. I have a good temperament. I'm ready for this job. I'm ready to be on the bench. I'm ready to be in this community helping out to make Baton Rouge a better place.
Early voting is open right now, runs all week, ends on Saturday. Of course, Election Day coming up on October 11th. You'll find Calli Boudreaux on your ballot for City Court Judge. Thank you so much for a couple minutes.
Thank y'all so much.
814, Talk 107.3 FM. Downtown Development District is helping out small business. We'll talk about it next. Thank you, Calli. And I'll hit up Scott about the other thing. Well, I want to get, hopefully we get that done. Thank you. Come on in, y'all.
I never noticed you'll die if you go down that hallway. Wall mural. Stay alive, stay away.
Oh.
In that, stay alive.
That's a
stay away,
previous.
stay alive. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's a previous engineer. I don't get it.
I can bump around this corner if you want.
No, I got it. I'm over here. Yep.
How's it going?
Oh.
I told you a little bit yesterday.
You did.
But it's going to be all right.
Yes, it is. It's like being seasick.
And everything
You feel
happens
like you're
at
gonna die,
once.
but everybody else thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah. I hope nobody else thinks it's hilarious.
Adam.
Oh, sorry.
McCloskey.
Yeah.
MCCLOSKEY. MCCLOSKEY.
So what all do you want to talk about, Brian?
Well, let's start off with the election.
Okay.
With the update on the millage, then we'll move into both y'all.
Okay.
818, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Told you we were guest heavy this hour. Want to welcome back to the studio both Whitney Hoffman Sayal and Adam McCloskey. Whitney Hoffman Sayal, of course, with the Downtown Development District, and Adam with the Small Business Development Center over at LSU. I try to translate acronym into full words. Welcome aboard. How y'all doing today?
Doing great.
Doing well, thank you.
Adam, I need you to hang tight for just a quick second because Whitney's on the ballot. Not directly, but the Downtown Development District is on the ballot for the October 11th election. If you live downtown, the DDD millage is up to be renewed. Let's talk a little bit about it, Whitney, because there's a lot of there's backstory here and there's future potential here as well.
Yeah. It comes up next Saturday, for our 5-year renewal. We go to the voters every 5 years, and as you mentioned, it's on the residents within our district, which is a little bit larger than you would think, but you can find our boundary on our website if you're curious.
Or if I check my text, because you sent it to me
I did
yesterday.
send it to you. Yeah, it goes Choctaw to the north, the railroad between 14th and 15th on the east, and down to Myrtle and around the water campus to the south.
Okay. All right. So just past the bridge. I mean, it's not, everybody has the quote unquote boundaries for downtown, and the bridge is the boundary, but really you go
a little
slightly,
bit south.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course the river locks you in as well. So for those that live downtown, why is the millage important to renew?
Well, we are the stewards of downtown, right? We're always making sure that the needs of our stakeholders are being met. And of course, the residents are a huge part of that. They're the ones that believed in downtown from the beginning, or investing in downtown. And we focus a lot on quality of life projects. So we have 42 active projects right now for my small staff of 5. It keeps us busy, but it definitely addresses the things the residents need. We have 2 projects right now that have gone to bid, go under construction soon along the riverfront that will continue our bike ped trails north. That's just one of many.
Right.
But we take the master plans like Plan Baton Rouge 1, Plan Baton Rouge 2, and we really advocate and lead and steward the initiatives that are recommended in them.
Right. And we're in the thick of it with phase 3 right now for Plan Baton Rouge.
Exactly. So phase 3, that'll be wrapping up towards the end of this year, beginning of next year. And once that plan is complete, that's our guiding document, right? That's what the community wants to see, and it's our job to make sure that happens.
Got to ask you the uncomfortable question. You said every 5 years, which means that for downtown's perspective and your perspective, this is the first time that Davis isn't the one going at this battle. This is the first time you've had to step into the batter's box.
I agree.
Knock the dirt off your cleats.
Yeah.
Point to center field.
Yeah. And honestly, I've been here for a little over 2.5 years in this position. So the whole 5 years wasn't really under me, but it is my responsibility to lead the office and continuing the work that we do, continuing Davis's legacy. And I must admit, it hits a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how it wouldn't. I mean, this is like I've been in Baton Rouge since '95, right? And every iteration of Plan Baton Rouge, every iteration of wanting to re-inject any kind of life into downtown, I mean, that was Davis's gig for forever.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to add pressure to you
No.
here this morning, but it's
No, trust me, I've already realized it. My husband is also going through it with me. I'm sure he also looks forward to after the date.
And the thing is, you do have 2.5 years under your belt, a resume that shows the fact that you only have a 5-person staff. I keep forgetting that with the stuff that y'all do. Like you said, 42 active projects, the stuff that y'all do. The fact that y'all only have a 5-person staff is pretty remarkable.
I have a great team. I gotta admit it, and I think that's something that DDD's always had. Even in my previous roles, we worked really well together because we all really believe in downtown and love it. People ask us what we do. I said there's a myriad of things, but we live, eat, breathe, sleep, and then dream about downtown. I have a notebook by the side of my bed, for those 2:00 in the morning wake ups, but it means everything to us. And so we work really hard.
Well, and yeah, it's the fact that it's about to get that third injection from Plan Baton Rouge phase 3, to not capitalize on the momentum just it would seem wasteful.
Yes. We it's very important to us to continue the work. It's never done, right?
Nope,
cities are always growing and changing, and it never stops.
Yep. All right. That's for this Saturday, or for now through this Saturday's early voting. The following Saturday, October 11th, is the actual election day. I want to pivot over to talk about one of the things that y'all are working on, and I am very, very excited about it. Starting on Friday, and we're going to get Adam in here for this. Starting on Friday, you two are teaming up to help small businesses that, in what aspects are you helping them?
Well, I'll let Adam go into that, but I will note that we're really excited about the partnership with LSU to help build our existing small business and also help any businesses that may want to come downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things, I've been in Baton Rouge for 3 years, not since 95.
Right.
And, I came from Pensacola where everybody's like, what do you want to do? Oh, let's just go downtown, right? That was the answer, is just go downtown. Then you figure it out. So whenever I'm thinking about, all right, where do I want to live? Where do I want the place that I live to be? I'm like, I want to just be able to go downtown. So when we were growing and we were saying, all right, how can we help more people? What can we do to help small business? It was like, well, let's find a way to get downtown. So we reached out, and now we're going to go down there. We'll be there every Friday. One of us, myself, Chris or Jason, one of the other consultants that we have at the SBDC at LSU, will be down there, and we help people with a bunch of stuff, right? We do that startup and business planning. That's one of the core things, but that's not really where we spend most of our time. We help people access loans. We help people manage their finances. Chris just got AI certified from Google. We're working on international trade certifications. I value businesses. So if it's buy and sell a business, we can help with that. So really, we try to look at a small business, their needs, and work with them individually. It's not, oh, this is the program you need to go. It's, all right, what's keeping you from getting where you want to be? And let's find a way to inject some more thought, some more work, some more planning into that.
And this is one of the more important parts, because a lot of people have an idea. A lot of people will jump off that entrepreneurial cliff, and then it looks like it's working. They're staying above water, but treading water. And your role here is to get them from treading to swimming.
I always talk about the plateau, right? People get to a plateau, and it's like, all right, we grew, and then we stopped.
Right.
But we need to keep growing, or else we're not going to get where we want to be. And so let's find a way to help end the plateau and start growing again.
So that takes so many different. I love that what your passion is finding the individual path, because everybody's path is going to be different. So being able to cater the path to the person rather than the person to the path, that's where the success comes in.
And we have to, because I'll work with somebody who's got a landscaping company one day. The next day, it'll be somebody who's got a new AI app to improve airplanes. And then I've got somebody else who will come in and they've got some new way to create a chemical out of thin air. So we have to be ready for whatever their needs are and meet them where they're at. And that's why we want to go downtown, because the businesses are downtown. We want to meet them where they're at, not make them drive all the way down to where we are.
So this is for downtown businesses and potential downtown businesses. All right. This is where I start. Like, I believe that all things downtown start with having business downtown. You don't have residents downtown unless they have a place to work. You don't have a grocery store downtown unless you have people who work there and live there who go to the grocery store. All things have to start on the business end. And I love starting on a granular level, because that's what grows. That's what grows.
Well, I mentioned that Pensacola is like you go downtown. Well, I grew up there. When I was a kid, there was the place where you went to pay your phone bill, and there was a bottle club, and that was it downtown.
Yeah.
And then some people started opening restaurants, and then people came down, and now at 5 o'clock, it's no longer a ghost town.
Right.
And, I've seen that happen, so I know it can be done, and I want to be a part of it, because it's going to happen, and I just want us to be a part of it. I'm kind of drafting off of what the DDD's doing.
So let's bring Whitney back into the conversation and talking about potential downtown businesses, what's the role of the DDD in like pairing them with like, this is what your needs are, this is what you can grow into, this is what's available here?
Well, so we'll always work. If businesses reach out to us and want to locate downtown, we can help them find the location that suits them, right? You can find a list online of all of the active vacancies or lease opportunities. So we'll match them with the spot. But this offers the little bit of expertise that we don't necessarily have expertise in,
right,
that will help them really be able to develop their business model and those sort of things.
Well, from y'all, offering up the space and the time, the job's already done. And from there, it's Adam's job to step back in and say, okay, here's how you grow, here's how you scale.
Right. And making them feel comfortable about the decision that they're making, right? To know that they have the support on all ends to locate downtown.
How important is it from your perspective? I mean, I know when we talk growth, we're always talking about recruiting, we're talking about finding new business out there, but cultivating the business that exists, I feel like that's an area where Baton Rouge does well, but could do a whole lot better.
I completely agree. We've got some great businesses downtown, right? And this is an opportunity for them to be even greater. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to see that, because, our existing businesses, they're what's supporting downtown now, and we want to support them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we hear about business from Baton Rouge that grows and expands and explodes, we hear about the Todd Graveses of the world. We hear about the Marucci's or the barbecue guys. What we don't hear about is, the accounting firm that moved from 10 to 25 people. And like literally double their office space, which is awesome. That's more employees, that's more people on the payroll, that's more revenue for the city.
People eating lunch, going to Mathern's and grabbing some groceries on their way home.
Exactly.
All of it.
All of the smaller stories are the ones that, in volume, they could be absolute multipliers. All right, Adam, tell folks where they need to go for any kind of help and what's available.
Well, on Fridays, if people want to just walk in, we're going to be at DDD offices. They can just walk in, or if they want to go to LouisianaSBDC.org, that's SBDC. They can go there, click the Register Now button, and we'll get in touch with them and get them scheduled, whether it's on a Friday or if their schedule fits on a Monday. We'll even go downtown and meet you there. So we meet people where they're at.
And the office itself is
247 Florida Street.
247 Florida Street, right there in between Schlitz and Po' Boy Loy's.
Exactly.
So that's easy peasy to find. Guys, thank y'all so much for coming in today. I appreciate it. It's fantastic stuff and hopefully means growth for Baton Rouge.
Thanks for having us.
Always. We're coming up on 8:30 at Talk 107.3 FM. I do have enough time to tell you about the folks over at NeuroJust. If you or someone you know, someone you love is suffering from anxiety and depression, you already know what the battle is. It's a constant fight or flight inside their mind, and that's exhausting. If that person suffering from anxiety or depression has not really taken to the sit-down therapy, the traditional talking with a psychiatrist, if that person is not seeing results from prescription drugs, let me tell you about transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS therapy they call it. It's FDA approved, there are no side effects, and it is non-invasive. And here's the thing, they've got receipts. 80% response, 70% complete recovery. It's amazing. Learn more at neurojust.com, NEUROJUST, neurojust.com to learn more about TMS therapy. If you're battling with anxiety or depression and the traditional methods haven't worked, if you are therapy resistant, check out neurojust.com. They're located on Blue Bonnet Boulevard. This type of therapy is sweeping the nation. We're lucky to have it here in Baton Rouge. Give them a look at neurojust.com. All right, ABC News, local news, traffic, weather, Federales Fest. Let's talk about it next.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
This is, yeah, as soon as I saw the story, I'm like, this
I know. And look.
It's the small stories that are the successes here.
Yep. And when he came to talk to us, I was like, and then we're ready to go in a couple weeks after having the conversation. I was like, yes. I like people who are ready to move.
Well, I mean, this is what we did, when I was in Florida. We were in 2 locations, and now they're in like 20. We just got to build it and start somewhere. So,
All right, all good things.
Well, thanks for reminding me. No pressure.
None whatsoever.
None.
No, it's gonna be fine.
I hope so.
The beauty part here is, and this is the difference between killer mice. 836 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Time to welcome to the studio Jay Hover. He runs the show over at Live After 5. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but I want to start with what you got coming up this weekend in Federales Fest.
Absolutely. Federales Fest taking place Saturday, October 4th out at Live Oak at Cedar Lodge off Jefferson Highway, our third year, highlighting outlaw Americana and even some funk music this year.
Give me the rundown on the bands.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Paul Cawthon, Big Velvet, coming out of Texas this year, headlining. George Porter Jr., and the Running Partners coming up from New Orleans, bringing that little funk I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Sam Morrow coming down from Nashville, and then a slew of great local and regional artists.
Yeah, you got
with the kid band Scenic Highway from Baton Rouge Music Studios kicking off the day.
But Baton Rouge Music Studios is like exploded.
Absolutely.
They're all over the scene now. Everywhere I turn, they are showing up, and they're showing up well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we love to highlight the kids and get them up on the big stage and building that confidence and giving them some cool experiences.
You also got Zach Edwards in the Medicine, Dominic Michael, and Captain Legendary Band's been around forever.
Yep, bringing back the Captain Legendary Band. Very, very excited about that. I'm not sure their last gig, but I know 5, maybe 10 years.
Has it been that long?
I think so.
Good night. Unbelievable stuff. All right, so over at Live Oak at Cedar Lodge, let's talk a little bit about putting on a festival there, because everybody's been there for an individual event or something. This is next level.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you can imagine. Well, first, I just want to thank our presenting sponsors, Williamson Eye Center and Lamar Advertising.
Of course.
But Live Oak at Cedar Lodge, no better setting for something like this. Arabian horses running about. Load-in started on Tuesday, so it's blowing and going leading up to Saturday.
So Saturday, what time do we start all this?
Opening doors at noon. Scenic Highway will hit at 1 p.m. and we'll roll till about 11 p.m. at night. So full day of experience.
That is fantastic. Tickets, by the way, if you wanted that VIP experience, you're going to run you $250. If you want just general admission, that's $75. But it gets you all day access to everything out there.
That's right. Family friendly event, of course. Kids under 16 are free. Really, all the events we put on. So bring the family out. The weather looks great, and should be a great time.
I'm surprised this is the third one.
Correct.
I feel like it's already a part of Baton Rouge, though.
I hope so.
Well, because I guess once you get from the first one to the second one, when the second one's successful, it's like, okay, this belongs here.
I think so, and I think we've got the community buy-in. I mentioned our great presenting sponsors, but also just 50 plus community sponsors that make this thing happen, and we're very thankful to have those guys on board.
If you go to federalesfest.com, you'll see that full list of sponsors right there, all the logos stacked up, and yeah, it's an impressive. It's a deep bench,
absolutely,
to be sure. Let's take it back to the first one though, and how we came around to, or how y'all came around to, nailing down the type of music, the feel, the vibe. What went into Federales Fest?
If you recall, 2019, I want to say Bandito Fest was a free music festival downtown. Yep. COVID unfortunately shut that down in year 2 in 2020. We revitalized a now paid festival is Federales Fest, and into year 3 and beyond.
But the vibe itself, though, just for those that aren't familiar with it.
Yeah, really, kind of started out as kind of Americana music, outlaw country focused. As you can see with George Porter Jr. on the bill, kind of trying to change it up a little bit and give people a taste of all types of musical genres.
We got Jay Hover in with us from Federales Fest. Got a couple minutes to spend here, and we are going to talk Live After 5 before it's all said and done.
Cool.
But I want to broaden this out to the overall music scene in Baton Rouge. It feels like it's both parts. I don't know that Baton Rouge has its own defined scene. It's like we're constantly trying to find something that is permanently ours, and we have these, really strong events, but that don't all tie together. Agreed.
Look, I love Baton Rouge. I think we're sitting on a wealth of musical talent between the local artists and people throughout the state. But it's my opinion that we need more great multicultural events like this, community events that the people can get out and support, just because we need more of it.
Well, and it's Federales Fest, boom, that's a staple. It's a full-on Saturday. You'll get your fix for a good little while.
No doubt.
It's the question with the Baton Rouge music scene is, where's the follow-up?
Yeah, look, I don't have an answer. I've been fighting this for 8 years, and I will not give up. I can promise you that, between Live After 5 and Federales Fest, and hopefully some other great events with the city. We'll keep pushing and keep turning people on to great music.
Well, let's pivot over to Live After 5, because this is one that is a staple in Baton Rouge, has been around since Man, I remember one of the first Live After Fives. They used to do it on 3rd Street.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right in the middle of the street. And that was, it's got to be close to 20 years ago now, huh?
20 plus years. I want to say 1998. Live After Five kicked off. So.
That sounds right. And I mean, to move from 3rd Street to, it had another stop before it got to where it is.
Well, I think it was Galvez Plaza facing North Boulevard.
That's right.
At one time.
Yeah.
Now with just the explosion and the growth we've had over the last couple of years, we've since flipped. So now facing towards the River Center. And we average 3,500 people plus on a given Friday.
It's a fantastic, and 35 actually sounds light. When
no,
because it's all a matter of when you count.
Absolutely.
Because if you count right at 5, you're going to get light. But once you hit once you start getting towards that first intermission, you look back and you see there's people all the way back by the River Center.
You're right. I think 6:30 is really our big pop, and we love free community events for all the people in the Baton Rouge and beyond to come out and enjoy.
Which, of course, Live After 5, now that we're talking about this, taking the week off this week because there's only one of you, and you can't share between Live After 5 and Federales Fest. So Live After 5 will be back at it next week with, you just told me the
New Orleans Suspects, absolutely. So a little more funk coming up out of New Orleans. Like you said, there's no brakes on this train. We got through 3 great Live After 5s, touching on all the different genres again. Right into Federales Fest, and then 3 more kicking off next week, October the 10th. So come on out and support.
The last one, it was actually 2 shows in one. You had Lauren,
correct.
Yeah,
Lauren Lee Band, and then Timothy Wayne, and a special guest from Baton Rouge Music Studios, Finn Tucker. I'm sure you saw that.
Oh
Just
my goodness!
incredible
Wait,
stuff.
no, tell me this is online somewhere.
It is.
Okay.
Instagram. I'll have to send you the video, and y'all can put it up on your socials and your webpage. Excuse me, but. Timothy was nice enough to invite Finn up to join him for a song. It was just a magical moment.
So Finn came back up.
Finn came back up after a solo performance.
I was there through intermission, and then I had to leave during Timothy Wayne, which, by the way, Timothy Wayne's coming on the show, I believe it's either next week or the week after. But this kid, Finn, was he like 4?
5 years old.
He's 5 years old.
That's great.
And he's playing Johnny Cash.
Stealing the show.
On stage at Live After 5, and yeah, he's good.
It's great. So
it was kind of ridiculous. And Lauren Lee, not too much taller than the 5-year-old.
Exactly right.
That girl's got a lot of voice.
She's got some pipes, no doubt.
Oh my goodness, incredible stuff. And then of course, Timothy Wayne there's no ceiling on him.
Just a special talent.
Yeah,
we're fortunate to have him on the big stage and representing Baton Rouge and LSU and all the good things.
And so one of the things I've loved about Live After 5, and this is a credit to you and the folks that did it before you, is that there's a good mix of you play the hits, right? You know what bands are going to bring out what. Like the fall series will wrap up with the Mixed Nuts. Mixed Nuts aren't new to Live After 5. They're not new to the Baton Rouge music scene. We know what we're going to get there. You're going to get solid energy, high-level energy, like inexplicable,
absolutely
all the way through. It's like, how do they start at an 11 and they go up from there, and you don't know how they maintain it the whole way through, which is why I love their show. But at the same time, though, you bring in new acts from time to time that, I mean, sometimes it can be a risk, but when it hits, it hits.
You're right. I mean, traditionally, it's a lot of wedding bands and party bands, and people love it, and people are singing along and dancing. But, we feel like there's a lot more out there, and I think these 3 fall shows to kick off this fall series are a testament to that. People coming out, supporting other genres or other musicians they might not know about, but certainly enjoy it out there.
What goes into that? I mean, I don't want to say algorithm, but what goes into that equation?
A little bit of personal bias.
Okay.
And I'm very passionate about music, of course, and just kind of committed to supporting different genres and all that kind of good stuff that we talked through.
Now Live After 5, when it first started, I mean, its intent was to translate into the nightlife downtown.
Correct.
The nightlife downtown, I think, kind of has its own life now. But that synergy still works.
Yeah, look, I think for us, it's getting the people out, going out to the restaurants before, during, and after, and then filtering out to the bars and supporting the bars on 3rd Street and just helping kind of revitalize downtown. We
got Jay Hover, and we're going to get back around to Federales Fest in just a minute. But when we're talking about Live After 5, I'm passionate about it because you see cities around the country that do this. They try to do this. Some come up way short. Other places, like New Orleans is always going to be a music hub, right? I feel like we punch outside of our weight class for Live After 5.
I completely agree. And I think it's very refreshing. Incoming Mayor Sid Edwards, huge supporter of Live After 5 and what we're doing out there, supporting these great community events, supporting these great multicultural events, bringing people from all walks of life downtown, enjoying the music, enjoying the time, and enjoying the bars and restaurants, as we mentioned.
Which, by the way, and this is, I probably should have told you this ahead of time. I didn't intend on making anything political in here, but there will be Thrive EBR on your November ballot, and a big part of a big part of what the mayor wants to do, keeping events like this alive, by voting for Thrive EBR. We have the commercial runs about the 1, 2, 3. You've heard the commercial already, but this is part of that though. We're by renewing current taxes and freeing up our city parish government to be able to spend those dollars more wisely, spread it around a little bit more, we're able to keep great events like this going. Thrive EBR is going to be a piece of this coming up.
No doubt about it. We support it and want these community events to continue, of course. So, get out there and vote.
All right. We'll circle back one more time. Federales Fest, give me all the details of how folks can get tickets and what they can expect.
Yeah, please visit federalesfest.com. That's FEDERALES fest.com. Visit us on socials. Just an incredible event, beautiful venue, and great music, great sponsors. So thank you.
He is Jay Hover. Federales Fest is it's just simple as federalesfest.com if you want to check it out. They've got all the information on the website right there. Ticket information is there as well. Jay, I appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Always. Got to take a quick minute to remind you about the folks over at 5 Star Printing and Signs. My guy Danny and his team at 5 Star. Take a look at your own business card for a second, okay? You know, when you exchange business cards with someone, some of them are noticeable, some of them are not. And I don't mean like an American Psycho kind of way. I mean like when it pops, it pops. When it grabs your attention, it grabs your attention. Is your business card grabbing someone's attention? If not, it's time to call 271-4096. Take a look at your brochures. Take a look at really all of your printed materials. Is there something there that's going to grab someone's eye, get someone's attention, spark conversation that will lead to better relationships, more leads, more sales? This is what Danny specializes in. This is what they do at 5 Star Printing and Signs. 271-4096 is the phone number, 271-4096, or visit printshop5.com. And by the way, while you're there, take a look at putting your logo on merch. They've got so much of it. Take a look at putting your logo on. You never want to be out of sight, out of mind. That's what they do. Printshop5.com. All right, we got to take a break. We got 1 minute. Okay. On the back end of the break, of course, on the last segment of the show before we hand off to Moon Griffon, we check in on the outside end. We step outside of East Baton Rouge Parish. So we will have an outside end story for you on the back end before we get you before we hand off to Moon. Duty to remind you before I hand off to Your Money Now, which is coming your way in just a second. Talk 107.3, along with First American Bank and Trust, are teaming up to honor our military and raise funds for Folds of Honor. This nonprofit organization provides scholarships to the spouses and children of soldiers who were killed or disabled in service. To donate to this important cause, visit our website at talk1073.com. Folds of Honor, to honor their sacrifice and educate their legacy. Your Money Now coming your way right now on Talk 107.3 FM. Damn it, Folds of Honor ended on September 30th. I wasn't supposed to do that one. That was supposed to be a Dreams Come True read. Oh, well.
Hey, man, thanks so much, bro.
Thank you.
See you in a couple weeks if I don't see you this weekend.
Yeah, I'll be out there.
Awesome, buddy. I'll take care. Thanks so much.
You too. Did you say Rich? Hey. Yes, sir. 856 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. You've been hearing the story in our news at the bottom of the hour about the EPA saying they're making progress in the cleanup over in the Tangipahoa River. More than a month, 41 days, I believe, since the explosion at Smitty Supply in Roseland. This coming a couple days after Governor Landry took to social media to urge the EPA to pick up the pace. During a news conference yesterday, and our news partners at LRN had this audio, Governor Landry took to social media to urge, during the news conference at which Governor Landry attended, EPA Region 6 Administrator Scott Mason said crews have cleaned up most of the oil that ended up in the waterways.
We've recovered over 4 million gallons of oily materials from the Tangipahoa River and ponds, so we estimate that we're 75% complete with the oily material recovery effort.
Mason says they're also working to prevent additional oily materials from reaching the river or the ponds.
We've deployed 22,400 feet of containment boom and 1,700 bales of sorbent pads that absorb these petroleum-based liquids.
And that's one of the questions that I've been having along the way. Is this, it hasn't really had, if it hasn't had a chance to flush out yet, the river, I mean, the river's going to be what the river's going to be. All rivers flow, but we haven't had any like major rainstorms or, like to hit flush, But my question there is, why is more getting into the river? Does that, I hope that makes sense as a question. The explosion was 40 plus days ago. The fire was put out, days after that? Why is anything still getting into the river? Once you've got the explosion and once you get the fire put out, don't you put a stop to anything that might be leaking off or running off? What new could be added to this equation that would outweigh a flowing river? That's been a part of this. One of the parts of this that just baffles me. By the way, Mason says they're also working with state partners on soil sampling, working to determine whether there's a risk to human health for farmers or other outdoor workers.
All results are below EPA thresholds that would indicate increased risk to human health.
One of the things that needs to come to the forefront here is, or I should say, are some of the chemicals that are out there. Because you get the chemicals that are supplied by Smitty Supply. You get the chemicals that were on hand there. But that's just the oil, right? What about all the stuff used to put out the fire? Is any of that not safe? And if so, if so, how do we get that out? Does the same booms that pick up the oil pick up the other chemicals as well? I don't know. We'll have some more on this for you probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then on Monday, because there's a bunch of unanswered questions further downriver, to be sure. All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. Oh, are we done on Facebook? We'll see y'all.